Hello everyone, how's it going? Ooh, I obviously forgot to present my other screen. Give me a second. So we've got my other screen, my other screen, which I would like to share. Let's say hi to everyone before we get into those things. Let's have a look. So obviously I've got this window here. RC, good to see you, buddy. Social productivity and stream. Yeah, it's probably going to be quiet here today, and we're also going to go a little shorter for today's stream. Hi, Eloise, good to see you. Highs, and we're going to be doing 1 hour and 45 minutes today, and then hopping over to support Lady Shannon, EST Houston, on her Storyteller's Hearth, which will be starting at, I believe it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that's why we're finishing a tiny bit early, so everyone can hop over. Eloise, sounds great to me. Going to be productive with yard chores and things today. What are you guys working on? Yeah, cool. Yard chores. Highs to Emma, who is on a she's on a Storyteller's Hearth stream right now, actually. So feel free to go check that out. Richard is here. Good to see you, Cliff. How's it going? He's going to be doing some stream hopping because Elmo's appearance elsewhere, which is true. And highs. So let's show you what everyone's doing. Basically, this is the Storyteller's Hearth weekend, basically, Saturday and Sunday. This one is happening right now. Let me refresh this. Let's refresh this so you can see what I'm talking about. So Holly Davis is streaming, and you can see a few people there. There's SD and there's Emma, and then 5 o'clock, which is SD. She's gonna be streaming, so we're gonna stop a bit early, and then hop on over to say hi to her on her stream. So yes, that's what we're gonna do today. How's everyone been over the week? Just want to circle back. So Eloise is going to be working on some yard chores, which is always fun. It's all good. So me, what am I going to be working on? I'm going to be reading, actually. I don't know if anyone has heard of this book, but let me just put it up over here. It's called The Only Survivors. A novel by Megan Miranda. So this is what I'm reading right now. And it's okay. I gotta say, it's not something I would write. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna be writing this kind of book. It's not my usual preference, I would say. So let's have a look at the Amazon page and consider this my due diligence. I know it's a little cheeky. I'm doing due diligence live with you guys. It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? But let's see if we can shed any light on the process. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's not that many people here today, so I don't really like giving away secrets. So this is my process. I'm essentially just sharing my process here. Okay, had to take a sip of water there. Sorry about that. So now, first, obviously there's a lot of ratings. Vast majority of people are happy with it. Reading the blurb over here, there's it's okay. I'm not sure I would copy the format even of this blurb here. What I do like is something like this. So this I really like. So I would probably do the 1, 2, 3. So if I just read less over here, what I mean by the 1, 2, 3 process is all this stuff. For me anyway, it's irrelevant. It's just telling people this person's really famous, New York Times bestselling author. Incidentally, if you want to get a New York Times bestseller, just have enough money. Can buy your way into that. So yeah, anyway, the 1, 2, 3 is basically, I like to have one line over here, and then a blank space, and then another line, or another sentence, a blank space, and then a final sentence, which will then bring up the read more button. So when you see the read more, people are more inclined to click on that, which is kind of like a soft push, if you like. I don't know if you guys have seen the. I think it was on Netflix. I think it was called Push, I believe. Anyway, the whole idea is to get people to do a tiny bit. So one bit will be click read more. So as they're reading more, they are hopefully, if you've written your blog correctly, or if you've written the best blog you can, hopefully they're reading more, which means they are getting more and more invested. And as they get more invested, you're like right at the bottom over here, I would say read buy it now or read it here or something like that, which will be one extra push. So they've already had one push, which is over here, read more. And then the next push, hopefully when they've read your blurb, they will say, yeah, okay, I'm willing to do that. So those are the two bits. It's just a basic 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. One line, space, second line, space, third line, space, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I would do for the blurb myself. Lots of praise and reviews. These are editorial reviews, effectively. So that's good. Let's have a look. Gnosis, they've also plugged the socials for Megan Miranda about the author. So that's something we can look at if anyone's interested. Interestingly, I didn't know about Megan Miranda until today, really. Well, recently, and it was a book suggested by my librarian. Yeah, interesting. She grew up in New Jersey, graduated from MIT, which is a very prestigious university in the US. So that is very cool. Me coming from a science background, very well known. Anyway, you can have a read of the reviews if you'd like, but I'm not really seeing off the top reading this many keywords. I don't think any like keywords wise. It's not really jumping out at me. There are a couple of keywords that I do like. Escape, survivors, this one, maybe something like this potentially. I would have to check that a little more. And yeah, I think because this person's trad published, it's not as important. The marketing isn't as important to do keywords wise because they've got other things going on outside of Amazon. So yeah, that is kind of my thing right now, what I'm seeing from this book, The Only Survivors. As I say, it's probably not a book I would write, this style of thing. It's not really my thing, gotta say. Let's have a look. I'm just taking a peek over here, actually. What's the description say? Yeah, Simon & Schuster's. Incidentally, it's very recent, so it's released a few months ago, and it's already doing so well, which is obviously very good for the publishers. Let's have a look. What was I? I'm trying to look for the categories that this thing is in. Oh, goodness me! Obviously, it's here. It's right there. Apologies. So here we go. Psychological thrillers, murder thrillers, suspense. So this thing is definitely a suspense book. It's quite psychological. There is some murder thrillers in this thing for sure. It's not really my kind of thing. I like more action. I need some action in this thing. Because action is lacking. So for me, I don't mind the dialogue and the drama and stuff. There's a lot of suspense. It builds up. It spends like 200 pages to build up. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Yeah, I mean, like I don't mind a bit of suspense. I really don't. But I think when you spend 150 to 200 pages building up the suspense, I don't know. Just so we're clear, I'm talking about the hardcover version, and I've got it right next to me actually. The hardcover version isn't like a hugely thick book. Okay, just to give you an idea, this book runs 335 pages. So out of 335 pages, I would estimate 150 to 200 pages before it gets kind of juicy. I think that's too much suspense for me. The build-up is just too much. For me, anyway. Ooh, we got a few more friends. Hi, and guten Tag. Thank you for joining me today. Appreciate seeing you here. by the way, great stream earlier. I saw you were with Jess and stuff, so that's cool. On Storytellers. Anne is here indeed, though the stream is kind of broken. Ah, sorry, Richard. How do we unbreak? How to unbreak? Felicia, hi. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm trying my best. Yes, I know. That's okay. Everyone stream hopping because there's some other streams which is okay. It's all good. The ones that are happening right now, right, Holly Davis is on with a few friends. So if anyone wants to go watch that, in fact, I'm gonna put the playlist over here so people can feel free to go check that out. That's the playlist. So if anyone would like to go and say hi, by all means, make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Let's all support the AuthorTube community, you know. So yeah, I was just saying, this is the book I'm reading right now, Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. Doing a bit of research to see what we can glean from the sales page. Interestingly, there is no from the publisher. Or maybe that's because it's a .ca. Let's have a look at the .com. Maybe it's a .com. Although I would say you really should have a .com, .ca A+ content as well, which is interesting. So let's have a look. I'm going to Google that. Amazon.com. Excuse me. Let's have a look at the .com page and go stay on .com. Yeah, don't change. Okay. Megan Miranda. The Only Survivors. Wonderful. Let's have a look. Hardcover. Yeah, that's the one I've got from the library, by the way. Let's see if there's A+ content in this thing. No, there isn't. But there are. Oh, okay, these are sponsored, so we'll ignore that. Oh, there we go. These are the keywords. Additional keywords, if anyone's interested. From reviews, from the review section. So, you know, it's interesting. Beach House, Cassidy. Okay, that's the main character. Yeah, I don't think any of these keywords strike me as particularly thriller related. Like main character, really? Yeah, you can have main character in just about every niche, except nonfiction. I don't think nonfiction does main characters very well. So yeah, this was what I was looking for on the .ca, but it wasn't there. Yeah, you can see the .ca doesn't really have this thing over here, but if you look in the .com, clearly there are some keywords that are picked up by the Amazon algorithm. I don't know if they use AI. I'm pretty confident they do. Some form of AI at least. So yes, let's say hi to more peeps. Highs to Eloise from Emma, Anne from Emma, Felicia, highs, and asking how are you. Ooh, there we go. SD, doing the Storytellers Hearth write-a-thon, but popping by to say hi and make friends with the like button. Outstanding timing, because if you haven't, please hit that like button. It really does help with the algorithm. I miss my best aunt. Aww. Highs. So yeah, all good. There is a Storytellers Hearth event going on, so you know, by all means, go say hi. Make sure you go say hi. Let's all spread some love around the AuthorTube community. So yes, that is what I have been doing. Megan Miranda's The Only Survivors book. Doing some research with anyone who's here today. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Appreciate that. Okie dokie. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe we should do some kind of a sprint right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm thinking let's go for 30 minutes. Yeah, let's do a 30-minute one, because I probably want to read a few pages as well, actually. I need to read a few pages of this book. Let's see. I am actually at... I'm on page 214. So yeah, it only got juicy at like close to page 200, really, which is... I don't know. I feel that's... It's a little late. I like to have my actions stuff kind of front-loaded a bit more, and it wasn't. So yeah, highs, more highs from Felicia to everyone, which is cool. Highs from Anne. It's all good. Okay, let's do a 30-minute sprint. And I don't know. Let's see. I'm just reading something on YouTube. If Anne has anything to share, I just saw Anne get tagged by Jess doing a capture the words team-based writing competition. So if anyone would like to, you know, oh, hold on, you couldn't see anything earlier, Andy. I can see something now. What happened earlier? What happened? You couldn't see anything. It literally stopped being. Oh no, you can see or hear. What the hell? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. But we also need to do a sprint. So I just spent a bit of time having a look at the sales page of Megan Miranda's The Only Survivors. And interestingly, this book, although it's trad published by Simon and Schuster, they don't actually have A plus content, which is really interesting. I don't understand why it doesn't have A plus content. So yeah, weird. It is spinning to doom again. Weird. I don't know. Everything seems to be functioning on my end. Maybe refresh, or maybe a stream hopping too many too many streams. Says YouTube messed for everyone. Is it messed up for you, other Laura? Oh no. I hope it's not me. Yeah, it's good, but bad. If YouTube is failing, the world's ending. Yes, I no truer words have been spoken. This is absolute truth. Panda's back. I never left. Did Panda go somewhere? Like Kung Fu Panda? Did he go on like some detour around the world to save the village? Videos work fine for me. Yeah, videos seem to work okay. I don't know. Can you see my page over here? It should be Only Survivors, The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. Oh no. Maybe I'll show you the cover. Oh. More highs from one Laura to other Laura. There has been too much productivity this week. Yeah, you're right. You know what, Richard? Have you written like 50 novels yet? The amount of productivity. Come on, 50 novels. You can crack that out. You know, should be a walk in a park for you practically. It might be a really big park, but it's still just a walk in the park, right? Hi to original Laura, the OG. Indeed, not for me. I've read all the. See, it's called reading with Anne, right? It's not called writing with Anne or talking with Anne. It's called reading with Anne. So I don't know. I hope people can see my screen. I tried sharing on StreamYard. Apologies if you can't. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's a StreamYard issue rather than a YouTube issue. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe I need to restart my stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave it going for now because it seems to be functioning for me. I can see my screen, so I'm checking on my phone, and I don't know. Andy never left. Andy's still here. Hi, Anne. I'm still here. I don't know what's going on. It's weird. I don't know. I'm still here, guys. What's going on? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Okay, I'm fine for now. Thank you for confirming. I was going to do a sprint, so I was going to start a 30-minute sprint. And we're going to be finishing early as well, actually, because we want to go and give some support to the Storyteller's Hearth. SD will be streaming at 5 o'clock. So we're going to finish at 4:45. So it'll be 1 hour and 45 minutes stream today with me. So yeah, that's what we're planning to do because we are obviously trying to support others. It's cool. So I'm fine for now. Happy to hear. Yes, thank you. So you can hear. Why? We've got to do some sprints because I don't know. I feel like if I don't sprint, I will be not productive. That makes sense. Okay, I tell you what. Let's not sprint for now because you guys have convinced me not to sprint. No sprints. So no sprints for now. But we do need to chat about something. I'm not quite sure what to chat about. I've been here for like 10 a.m. and now that I can actually see, now that I can actually see you want to sprint. Why do you hate me? You know what? And it's not personal. I kind of hate everyone. No, that's not true either. I like everyone. Everyone's cool. Most people are cool. If we sprint, I have to write a very heartbreaking chapter, and I don't want to do that. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Heartbreaking chapters, that is kind of, well, it's heartbreaking, so I get that. But maybe you can like blast through it. Maybe you can write really quickly. So if you do it really quickly, that kind of reduces the time for pain. Does that make sense? So you're reducing your time subjecting yourself to pain. So if you write a heartbreaking anything, just make sure you do it really quick. You'll be good. Okay, so I did want to share something that I've been doing over the past week and a bit. Actually, that's a good thing I wanted to share. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Let me just share something else. Yeah, okay, no sprints for now. We love no sprints. But we'll see how my voice does because I'm not used to talking for like, a long time straight. How was writing fiction? Yes, okay, cool. I'm glad you asked that actually, Anne, because I'm going to give you an update. I don't know if I'm prepared to share it. It's really raw, so I'm gonna condense everything, and you'll see what I mean. Let me just show you. What's your favorite book of Emma? I don't read romance. Sorry, I've had a skim read of a couple of books that were nonfiction, and they're pretty good. Emma's nonfiction stuff's pretty good. Yeah, I have no reservations recommending it. Emma says, and I thought Andy wrote something proper naughty, but he didn't. Yeah. You know what the problem is with people like Emma? I mean this in a really kind and good mannered way. Okay, it's not a beatdown. But people like Emma, they read so quickly, which is not a bad thing. But the problem with reading quickly is sometimes, because of the nature you're reading or the nature of how you're reading, you may skim, which is more than likely. And because you're skimming, you're going to miss certain critical words. So instead of reading the words as they were meant to be, you read what you thought you were going to read. You thought you saw. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I've been doing like some recordings of the books I've read. I've got another one soon. Actually, I don't know where the other one. What's the latest one? Where's Memory Man? Oh, there we go. Memory Man, Baldashi. And then this is what I wanted to show you over here. Everything from day 1 to day 11 over here. I have actually been recording. For the most part, I've been recording, except the one day where I forgot to screen record, basically. But I've been recording what I've been writing for the past 11 days. So day 11. So I did day 11 at 11:33 a.m. today. And it's basically me attempting to write for 5 minutes every single day. I'm going to open my Word document. I'm going to give you a skim, just a very high level skim. Let's just check out the comments first. So basically, I'm setting myself a personal challenge. And a personal challenge is for 5 minutes every single day, I'm going to write. I'm going to write for 5 minutes. And this was inspired by Chris Fox's book, 5,000 Words Per Hour. And I thought, well, one of his suggestions was start writing, but don't aim for like half an hour, 1 hour of writing. Just do a few minutes. So I started with 5 minutes. And I thought, let me do 5 minutes a day for 2 weeks and see how I get on. And that's basically what I've done over here. So I've done 11 days so far of 5 minutes writing every single day. And I've recorded my screen as I did that. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. No, the rest of this book is heartbreak, pretty much. Your brother is being executed. Aww. But you gotta have that low in order to finish strong, right? So the faster you hit the low, the faster the rebound will be, which is good. Maybe he would if you asked him to. Oh dear, your voice. I don't know. I'm not sure. No, I'm gonna give you an update. Stream cuts out. Did I? Did it cut out? No, did it cut out? Tell me, guys. Hopefully my stream didn't cut out. Oh no. Did it cut out? No. Okay, let me know if it did cut out. I'm gonna present my Word document just to give people a sneak peek. I'm gonna just show people very quickly. And if you're not here, you're gonna miss it. So I've got a template here, and I'm just gonna show people what it is. And the template, very basic, very basic. It's basically saying sprint number, which is kind of like counting my days. So which day are you on? Day 1, 2, 3, all the way to whatever, 11. In my case, I'm going through to day 14. How long my sprints are, in my case, I'm setting it to 5 minutes, but I plan to increase that. So I'm starting on 5 minutes for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to do 7 minutes, and then I'm going to do 10 minutes, and so on. And the idea is hopefully I can increase that sprint duration. You know, hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I just had to blow my nose. I got a blocked nose for some reason. Anyway, so I log my dates and I log my time when I do my sprints so that I can kind of have some idea of when I'm most productive. So do I write very well at night, and do I write very well in the morning, or maybe it's in the afternoon? So that's why I've got the time over there. One of the suggestions by Chris Fox is to remove all distractions, which means if you want to check your social media, you check that first. If you want to check your emails, you check that first. Do all that before you start writing. Actually, one of the other things he suggests as well is to have some kind of story that you plan to write. So have it broadly outlined in your head. It doesn't have to be a detailed outline with like 50 points to write, 250 words. That's not it at all. But kind of like a bullet point about the whole chapter, for example, or maybe a bullet point for the whole scene, that kind of thing. So at least have some kind of a guide. So this is my template. At the end of your 5 minutes, or my 5 minutes, I write down how many words I've got over here, the word count. And then if you were to convert your 5 minutes to 60 minutes, you would multiply 5 by 12. So over here, I would put in my word count and then multiply it by 12. And that will be my potential word count per hour. So it's a potential word count per hour because obviously I haven't actually written for 1 whole hour. But if you do 5 minute sprints 12 times a day, then yeah, that is actually 60 minutes. So I don't have to do, one 60-minute sprint. I could do 5 minutes, but 12 times in a day. So maybe twice in the morning, twice in the evening. That's already 4, and then fit in another 8 during the day, that kind of thing. Or even 5 minutes every hour for 8 hours. Sorry, for 12 hours. 5 minutes every hour for 12 hours. That could be a potential idea. In my case, I'm planning to increase it to like 5 to 7 minutes maybe, or 10 minutes, and see how I get on. So yeah, that is the template. I'm just going to scroll really quickly. If you blink, you're going to miss it. And this is only for people who are in the stream right now. Okay, so sprint number 1. I got 227 words. He landed on his feet. Who doesn't want to find out what happens next? Come on. Sprint number 2. I got 206. I suppose the beasts weren't too shabby this time. Yeah, I want to know what happened. I didn't need this bold, but there we go. So I'm going to save that. Sprint number 3, over here. Accidental death. Yeah, whatever. It's nothing accidental. That one I got 250. Sprint number 4. 222. Sprint number 5. 237. Sprint 6. 215. Sprint 7. 157, and that kind of took me back a bit, but this was the first time I decided to write dialogue, and it was really difficult for me the first time. Sprint 8, still some more dialogue over here, but sprint 8, 256, I redeemed myself. Sprint 9, 212 words. And you can see there's some dialogue with some description stuff. Sprint 10, 272. That was a record for me so far. Sprint 11, which is today, 249. So there we go. That is it. The screw up was monumental. Yes, that's right. So Emma misread that, and I don't know what she saw, but she saw something different. So there we go. I just wanted to share that. That is my current writing update, if you like. This is not like a story, a proper story or anything. I'm just writing to practice writing. That's where I'm at. So let's have a look at the chats and see how everyone's doing. Anne is behaving. This feels like it's telling me to go, oh, and quickly. Oh, no, we don't. Maybe Wes can just take like a holiday. You're back, Andy. It's fine. Okay, cool. I haven't had anything. I get 2 seconds of Andy, 3 minutes. Oh no. Worth the wait. Oh dear. Would be if he said graphics. Indeed. Oh, due diligence. You guys crack me up. Okay. Do we want to do a sprint? That is the question. I'm not sure if we can handle a sprint, to be honest. Because there's YouTube problems, apparently. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I can't... It's kind of out of my control. You know what I mean? I can't control this stuff. I don't know what's wrong. Let me see. Seems to be going okay on my side. I'm not sure why things are not working. I'm just checking my phone to see if everything's working, and it seems to be working okay. Yeah, it seems to be streaming fine on my end. I don't get the circle thing. I'm going to add the stream. Let's have a look and see if it works. Just adding the stream. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, it seems to be working. Yes, no, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why sprint? More chats. And hate sprinting, by the way. We should all stay together. Need to be safe. Ooh, actually, that is literally the premise of this book. One of the premises. Ooh, I closed that. Basically, the survivors of that traumatic event feel like they have to stay together to stay safe. And that's kind of their thing, So when Anne says we should stay together, we should all stay together to be safe. Yep, it's true. Survivors groups tend to stay together. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I'll probably have to look into that. There must be some psychological reason, because when they're together, they feel like they got some comfort, maybe safety in numbers or something like that. Yeah, I might tell you more. Let's have a look. Tell us more. Hey, Jody, good to see you. Thank you for popping by, listening while driving. Drive safe. Make sure you're safe. Safety first, always. Right? If you have to close my stream, by all means. So let me have a look. So Anne was saying, just instinctively, Anne was just saying, we should all stay together to be safe. I know her motivation was not to sprint, but really, staying together and to be safe is literally like one of the big drives for this book. The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. So yeah, it's probably something like, if I were to write something like this, I would need to research how survivors behave and what events the survivors survived, So it could be so many things, like horrible things, obviously. I'm not going to mention it here, but if there are survivors, there's obviously something horrible, which means there's some kind of psychological, group psychology around that. So I would need to, figure that out, do a bit of research, But yes, that will actually. You know what? Let's have a look. Ooh, sorry about that. Let's have a look at the acknowledgements right now, um, and let's see if there's any acknowledgements for psychologists or something like that. Thank you to a wonderful group of people who helped guide this story from initial spark of an idea to the finished book, which is cool, cool, cool. I'm grateful for the brilliant guidance and insight from my editor. Da, 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 da. No psychologist so far. Thank you to fantastic friends and critique partners. Critique partners. Ooh, we're going to talk a bit about that. Thank you to my family who found that phone on the beach. Okay. So this thing was set by the author because she was on a beach with her family, and the phone on the beach that they found in this book is kind of relevant. So that's cool. Lastly, to all readers, thank you. So there is no acknowledgement mention for psychologists or any survivors of any kind. So I don't know. It's all good. But if, like, I think my mom did psychology as a degree, and I would not be doing her justice if I wrote something about survivors' guilt or survivors' support groups and not done my research. You know what I mean? I think that would be a tremendous shame. So yeah, cool. Anne says, my motivation is to make sure all my friends are safe. Thank you. Yes, that is a very noble pursuit. Such a good friend indeed. Exactly. RC. It's a black heart with spiders. I don't know. I'm not sure which is worse, the black heart or the spiders. Oh dear. Highs. Obviously, I am the best friend anyone could have. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Emma might have to fight you on that one, or maybe Richard. I don't know. I'm not really a fighter, so I can't say. Yeah, no fighting. Maybe you can all just be friends. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I wanted to talk a bit about critique partners actually. So I've actually got a critique partner. I don't know. I don't know if this is a partnership or more like just a critique person. So, but I do have someone who critiques my work, which is really cool actually because my work is really bad right now. All I can say is, right now I am at the start of my fiction writing journey, which means by definition it's not whatever I write. It's not going to be good. That's just reality. I wish I could say that it was my work was like outstanding. The first time I wrote anything, it was just so good it could be published. In reality, probably not. Yeah, that's just reality for me. Let's see. Yeah, what was I trying to say? I lost my train of thought. Yes, critique partners. I'm trying to figure out. So critique partners, I do have one, and they're really good. It was cool. Let's see. Anne says, please, I could take fighting Richard in my sleep. Where is Richard? Where is Richard? I don't know where he is, but he's obviously not here to defend himself. So by all means, have at it, Anne. So yeah, critique partners I think is really valuable. And if I didn't have a critique partner, I'll probably end up. Well, actually, this is still my plan. I'll probably write 2, maybe 3, maybe even 5 full-length novels, and I'm not talking 20, 30,000 words. I'm talking 50 to 70,000 words. That will be my baseline. So I'm hoping to write like kind of a couple of thriller novels and see how I do. Literally just do like 60, 70,000 words. And those I'm never going to see publication at all. Yeah. And that'll kind of be that'll be my trial run, if you like. So I'm not going to publish those, but the 3rd to the 5th books, I would hope that those will be much improved from the first 2. So that's kind of my timeline. if you like, or my game plan. Timeline wise, I'm writing just for practice, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try Chris Fox's method, which is, you know, use writing sprints as best I can. So I'm writing for 5 minutes every single day, and I'm hoping to increase my word count. And the idea is, if you can increase your word count to such an extent where you can write 5,000 words per hour, you will have written one novel, believe it or not, one novel every single week. So let's just do the math on that. And it really does come down to just math, or maths, depending on where you're from. So let me just whip out the old calculator here, adding that to the stage. Okay, so Richard is hiding. He knows better. I've never had a prophecy. Yeah, but I believe your work is pretty good as it is, I haven't read it, but I believe it is. It is pretty good. Otherwise, people would not, want to collaborate with you, for example. Which, by the way, Becca, collaboration, totally awesome. Totally awesome. Maybe one day I'll get a collaboration of sorts. Co-write something. So, okay, here's the math of writing. Hi RC, good to see you, fellow human. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just replying to someone's Discord. Anne says, but like, I have a few close author friends, and I know they will read my stuff, but like, I don't want to bother anybody. So, yeah, I don't think it's more like a bother. It's more like they will be happy. I'm pretty confident they will be happy to read your work and just give you some feedback. You don't have to say read 70,000 words in 2 days, for example. You can say, look, here's like 5 pages of my book. Just have a read whenever you're free and give me some feedback. Do you mind if I check in a week's time? And I think actually most people are quite reasonable. They'll be like, especially if they're your friends, they're not going to go, no, I'm not doing that. No, they're more likely to go, yes, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. It's only 5 pages. Who doesn't have time for 5 pages? So if you've got like 10 friends, you've got 50 pages right there, So people can give you feedback on what they read. But obviously, you got to make sure it's within the genre you're writing in and all that kind of stuff, So don't ask like a plumber to fix your heating. Oh no, plumbers do fix heating. Some of them. Don't ask your lawyer to fix your plumbing. That's what I meant to say. And don't ask your plumber to go to court for you, which you should know, and because you're doing law right now, you know this better than anyone. Anne says, I am still baffled that both my co-writers think I'm cool enough to write with. Yeah, exactly. So you have in your writing some kind of proof that you're not like the worst writer. You're probably pretty decent, which is why people want to co-write with you. So, yeah. No, you hate everything I just said, but at least you heard me, so that's a good thing, right? I'd rather have one person read it all. Yeah, you probably can find 1 or 2 people who will happily read it all. You know what? That is true. I don't actually know if Anne is good at plumbing. Maybe she is a good plumber. Maybe it works. Other Laura Gomez says the video works just in time for maths. Perfect. Okay, let's jump into the math of it. So maths wise, now this is kind of what I got from Brian Cohen's book, 5,000 words per hour. Okay, so let's say you want to write a book, and let's say it's 70,000 words. Okay, not 70,000 words. Let's say it's 50,000. So it's starting at 50,000 words, and you can write 50,000 words. You can write 5,000 words per hour. Divided by 5,000. Okay, so you need 10 hours to write 50,000 words. All right, so just let that sink in a bit. If you had a fully outlined, well plotted out book, it would take you 10 hours to write a 50,000 word novel. Okay, 10 hours. And you could probably fit those 10 hours in 2 weeks. Let that sink in for a minute. If you can write a complete novel in 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Now, I'm not suggesting you do. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying if you could write in 2 weeks, you could write, 2 books a month. Okay, 2 books a month. And this is where it really gets interesting for me. If I could write 2 books a month, it doesn't matter if the first 2 books are rubbish. I'm going to write it off. I'm going to just say, yep, good practice, good experience. I didn't just write, because it's not just the writing. The writing is obviously important, but along with all the writing, you are getting everything along the way. What's everything? Number one, you're learning about plotting. 2, you're learning about characters and character development. 3, you're learning about how to write, present tense, first person points of view, narrating points of view. Are these close narrating points of view, or are they medium like distance, or are they really far away? Kind of like sniper, distance, sniper distance far away. We're talking Morgan Freeman, talking from the heavens, and kind of narrating what he sees these whales and dolphins do as they swim. So we're not talking about that kind of narrating distance, maybe, but maybe that's what you want to do, and you need to write to practice that. So anyway, the point about this is, if you could write a book in 2 weeks, you could try out like 5, 10, 15, whatever novel lengths for one whole year. You could do quite a few of these to see which one you really resonate with. And then at the end of that year, you can say, okay, this is my style. This is what I like. This is how I'm going to do my next book, and so on. So yeah, that's why I kind of want to try Chris Fox's 5,000 words per hour. Let's see where I'm at. Where I currently am is, for every 5 minutes, I can probably do 250 words. So 250 words times 12, that'll give me my word per hour. So I can do 3,000 words per hour, which is not quite 5,000. It's actually a lot less than 5,000. But let's say I've got a 50,000 word novel length that I'm aiming for, and I divide that by 3,000, which is where I'm currently at. It would take me 17, let's call that 20 hours. It would take me 20 hours a week. I'm rounding up to the nearest tens. So 20 hours a week. If I can do 1 hour a day, that will take me 20 days to do one novel, which in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad. So if I spend like 10 days in between writing and everything, I can spend 10 days plotting, maybe doing some mild research, So that'll be 10 days plotting, mild research, reworking scenes, whatever it is, and then 20 days of actual writing for 1 hour a day. I think I'm really hoping. I'm hoping at this point. So this is hope, not reality. But my hope is that I can then do one novel a month, and if that is the case, maybe, big maybe, I don't need to worry about it. It doesn't matter if my work is not very good. I would have written one novel a month. That's way better than people spending 6 months thinking about writing a novel. That's way better than people who are on the fence, not even practicing. Anyway, that's my thinking. What do you guys think? Let me know. Because my thinking is, if I can write one novel a month, I'll write 2 or 3 for the first quarter of the year. So let's say I've got 3 novels, 50,000 words in length, written in the first 3 months. Then that'll give me the next 9 months. I mean, 9 months. Yeah, that's right. It'll give me the next 9 months to figure out what I actually want to write, how I want to write it, and I'm going to be improving with every single word. So yeah, that is the idea of why I am so interested in getting this word count higher if I can. But at 250 words, for 5 minutes, I think I'm doing okay. I really do. I'm not going to complain about that. I'll take 250 words for every 5 minutes any day. So yes, Anne might be actually really good at plumbing, but she is she's going to be a really accomplished lawyer. I might have to write a character about Anne. She may not be a lawyer. She may be a a plumbing lawyer, or maybe a lawyer who's into, I don't know, gas safety certification. I don't know. I'm just making it up. Video works just in time for maths. Yep. Hopefully you got all that. Hopefully you got all my ranting, other Laura, and maybe hopefully that all made sense. Maths wise, I did hear you, and I do appreciate it. Cool. Thank you, Anne. I've never done anything plumbing related, but I'm reasonably handy as usual. Yeah, I am not handy at all. Seriously, I am like not handy at all. I'm terrible. Anne says, I mean, I've written 50K in 11 days before, but that's not sustainable for me. I can do 10K a week consistently. Exactly. This is exactly it. So if you can do 10K consistently a week, then you got a nearly a full novel. Depends on the length of the novel, of course, all that kind of thing. But let's say you got 50,000 words. That's probably a novel. You got one novel in 5 weeks. That's like a month, just over a month and 1 week. That's outstanding. Like some months have 5 weeks, so you could actually have one in a month. It's not bad, right? And just to put into perspective, if you didn't like that novel, scrap the whole thing, restart. You know, you can crank one out in a month. No big deal. 3K in an hour would be great. Currently, I'm at 3K an hour, but I gotta say, I'm leaning towards maybe I don't want to write that fast. I might want to give myself a tiny bit of like leeway, So just because you can do it at 3,000 words an hour doesn't actually mean you should do it at 3,000 words an hour. Maybe you want to give yourself a bit of leeway. Maybe I can say confidently 3,000 easily. Oh, sorry. If I can do 3,000 easily, I would say with a safety factor, I can do 2,500. Like, I won't even break a sweat doing 2,500 in 1 hour, you know? Yeah, exactly. I think I can do 2.5K in an hour. Yeah, exactly. So if you can do 2.5K in an hour, then just base the projected like timetable. So if someone says, okay, I need a novel, let's say you've been contracted, for example, if you're fortunate enough to be trad published, they're like, Anne, I want you to write this book. I don't care how you do it, but I need it by this date. And then because of your writing speed, you can do that. And you can even give yourself a few days to plot and research and, go fight Richard, or whatever it is in between. Emma, as usual, so kind, so charming, doing brilliantly. Thank you. And Anne is also doing really brilliantly. Anne says you'll be kicking Emma off the throne with that writing speed. I'll be honest, Anne. I'll be honest. I do have goals, and my goal is to be trad published. I would love to be trad published. But right now, where I'm at, I haven't got any fiction. I don't have any fiction work published. So that does kind of weigh on me a bit, And I'm hanging out with people. I know this is kind of it's kind of a funny situation because you always want to hang out with people who are ahead of you. And in this case, I'm hanging out with a whole bunch of writers. Everyone's ahead of me, everyone. There's not like most people are published. So everyone is literally ahead of me right now. It's not a bad thing. It's just, I feel like I've got a lot of catching up to do. That's all. Hopefully I can catch up at some point. Jody says, it allows you to take one of those, even if it's not good, and revise it. But you got at least the word done. Exactly, Jody. Jody gets it. Like, you don't have to love your first works. You don't even have to love the fifth work or the sixth work or the 10th. But the fact that you can write so effectively within the time, I don't know. I just think if you had the confidence in your ability to write, I'm not saying your writing is going to be perfect, by no means am I saying that. But if you can write, and you can write 50,000 words in 4 or 5 weeks, then you would not worry if you wrote a novel that wasn't very good. You just wouldn't be worried because you'd be like, okay, this is not very good. Fair enough. Let's edit it. And when you're editing, you're like, I'm really not feeling this character, or I don't know, The storyline, yeah, it kind of fell off a cliff over here. Let's rewrite this part. Even if you had to rewrite half your novel, you get that done in 3 weeks, like with a major edit, with a major revision and writing, you'd still be okay in doing a decent novel in 2 months, right? But if you don't get that first draft, you're never moving on, which is where I'm at. I want to get that first draft. I want to make sure I get the first draft relatively quickly. I don't want to spend like 6 months, I don't want to do that. Hold on, let me take a sip of water. Excuse me. So yes, yeah, that's my thinking right now. If I can crank one novel out, I think within a month or a month and a half, I will be doing very well indeed. Anne says, "Stop! I will not be a legit lawyer. I'm not legally allowed to use that term." Okay, what? No, maybe I misunderstood. I thought you were doing law. Did I misremember? Okay, Anne says, "But see, I will not be able to just scrap a book. You're too emotionally attached." Fair enough, fair enough. But then you would have a first draft, and you would then be able to correct it if you wanted to. Wherever the story didn't. Um, I don't know, wherever the story didn't make you feel good about it, like if you're going through edits and you thought, yeah, okay, I could adjust something, it would take you much less time to adjust it because you can write fast, you can write quickly, provided you've got your plots and everything in place, you're hitting the right beats at the right times and everything, you'd be confident in that. Answers, I cannot do that. My ADHD doesn't let me start until I'm past the deadline. I've been awful ghost. Yeah. Hey, you got to work with what you have, right? It's all good. It's all good. You're one of us. And says you're one of us. No buts, no catching on. No, I feel like I need to. I would like to get trad published. That's kind of one of my like a bucket list kind of goal, And if I make some money, even better. I'm not gonna sell my soul and write a manuscript that I make nothing on. I would like to make some money, have something to show for it. Editing is the worst. You know what? Chris Fox and his book 5,000 Words Per Hour, he actually has a section where he says you can apply his 5,000 words per hour to editing. So if you want to edit your work, you have and it goes much faster compared to writing. The writing bit takes the longest. The editing, depending on how much you need to rewrite, you'll go between writing speed and editing speed. But the editing part, he actually has a section saying you can track how many words you've edited. So if you go through like a paragraph, see how long that takes you and how many words that paragraph had. So if that paragraph has let's say it's half a page, okay? Let's just say half a page, 250 words. 250 words in that section takes you 5 minutes. Then you have a starting point. It takes you it takes you 5 minutes to edit 250 words, right? So it takes 5 minutes, 5 minutes to edit 250 words. 250 words about 5. So you have 50 words per minute, right? You got 50 words per minute. And if you've got 50,000 words, and you what did I say? So 50 words per minute divided by 50, you're going to take 1,000 minutes to edit a 50,000 word novel. So this is 1,000 minutes, divide that by 60 to get hours. You are going to take 17 hours to edit a 50,000 word novel. So now you're going to take about 17 hours to edit one 50,000 word novel. So, that kind of frames how long it takes you to edit, which is really useful. So if you were to, write for someone else or ghostwrite or whatever, or write for a trad deal, then you know how long it's going to take you, and then you can plan accordingly, right? Yeah, my voice is going. Anne says, I'm doing very well at talking, but my voice is going. I'm not going to lie. Anne says, I'm doing tax law, which is law, but not for I will not be a lawyer. Also, I'm a state employee, and lawyer is term for private sector. Okay, okay. I didn't know that. Interesting. Um, that's interesting. I know a little. I know a thing or two about tax law, but I don't know a lot now. I've left the profession for too long. So that's very fair. Trad Pub is waiting for all of us. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's one of my bucket list things. Like um, I've self-published stuff, but I feel like a trad deal. I would love to be trad published. That'll be like the crowning moments of my writing journey, if you like. That's yeah. So let's see. Okay. Anne says I don't want to edit my work. I just want to tell someone else to do it. That's why I have co-writes. Okay. Yeah. Hey, that's cool. Sometimes co-writers can edit each other's work. So if you're happy with that, it's all good. Your tax law could be very different from mine. Exactly. One of the reasons I had to step away from tax is because I felt it was too country centric. So unless you get higher up and then you're not really doing tax work, you're doing like corporate managerial kind of stuff. Unless you're at that level where you're doing some kind of like corporate level management or middle management and above, where you're managing people, and those people will know the local laws. Unless you're at that level, um, tax is still very much country specific. It really is. It is. So there we go. Incidentally, I used to work in expat tax for the UK side. I was doing that for nearly a decade, or about a decade. Yeah, old guy here. It is. Yeah, sales tax is unified in the EU. Yeah, that's like a completely different thing. Sales tax. That's like the corporate side of things. And the UK has VAT, and then the US has sales tax. But it depends, because in the US there's like different states. Some of them don't have sales tax, and also the US will be like, depending on which state. And this is just from memory, so this is not tax advice, anyone. But depending on which state, they have, I think it's sales tax at points of sale or points of purchase or something like that. I can't remember now, something like that. But we need Eloise to chime in. She does sales tax stuff. And says, so that's all the same over here, which is really nice. Yes. So you're working within the EU, and like there's unified tax law. You're good. You're good. It's true. And there's overlap in other sectors. Yeah. The UK, obviously, with Brexit and everything. Yes. We'll leave it at that. I'm grateful Richard is not listening, because yeah, we might have fights over here. Anne says, I love learning how different countries do the same thing. Yeah, they do similar things, but it's different. Yeah, Eloise is into sales tax. She does actually, I don't know what she does like specifically. So Eloise can feel free to chime in when she's back. Okay, cool. I've spoken for like an hour straight. I need to rest my voice. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a we're gonna do a how long should we go for? Half an hour? 15 minutes? 15 minutes maybe? I don't know. 15-minute sprint? No, I mean half an hour sprint maybe? Let's see. Let me add this to the page. And it says, hopefully I won't actually have to deal with a lot of taxes when I'm done. Yeah, I think, I really like this actually. I'd rather go into teaching, Ministry of Finance. Yeah. I really do think that's a smart move. You gotta, like, there's nothing wrong with tax. I'm not yucking anyone's yum if that's your thing, but it's kind of narrow. It's very narrow, so if you can go like even one step higher, so that you're not, oh, you have to take this deduction. Oh, don't forget the allowance here. If you can just get one level higher above that, so you have someone who actually does that, and they're like the technical specialist people. And if you go one level higher and above, then you're more like the middle management to higher management. I think that'll be okay. And teaching finances or Ministry of Finances, I think that'll be great. Honestly, I think that's great. Anne has given her blessing. I accept this sprint. I deserve a break indeed. It's also boring to do the same thing all day. Yeah, so true. Okay, let's do a half hour and then we'll come back for a 10-minute quick chat because we are going to go over to support SD on her Storyteller's Hearth at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to log off 15 minutes early and we'll all go over and support her. Before we jump on, let's see. Jody says, I'm doing a talk to text, so if it doesn't come out right or spell things correctly, then you know. No worries, no worries. Well, I'm not reading anything that's being sent. Yeah, cool. All good, Jody. You drive safe. Drive safe. Safety first, please. Anne says, I will automatically be in a high position when I start because I have a degree. It's hierarchy. Yep. Yeah. Hey, you do what you got to do, and I'm sure you're going to be really successful. So you got a really good brain on you, so can't go wrong with that one. Okay, people, let's do a half-hour sprint, and then we will come back, take stock, and go from there. Okay, I'll see you in half an hour. Let's go. And that is time. That is time. How did everyone do? What did you do? With the exception of Jody, who is on the road driving, please make sure you drive safe, Jody. What did you guys get up to? Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on over here. Actually, I'm gonna put this on over here because that's what I got up to. I was reading some pages on this thing called "The Only Survivors" by Megan Miranda. I read a couple of pages on that. That's what I got up to. Let's pick up where we left off, shall we? In the chat, Jody says, basically, I was just wanting to say that if you get your idea on paper for your story down, you can always fix things later in the second rewrite. In the second rewrite, the first draft, don't worry about the grammar spellings. Exactly, right? So we were just talking about like writing speed and how that effectively feeds into how quickly you can get a first draft. And the idea is not to be perfect for the first draft. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect for the first draft, you know? And that's for a second draft. Exactly. So Jody's totally she totally gets what I'm trying to say. And I think on this point, I'm in agreement with Chris Fox and his 5,000 words per hour. So the idea is that you don't have to hit 5,000 words per hour, but if you do, then obviously you can produce a full-length novel of, let's say, 50,000 words, you know, full-length novel, 50k words in about a month, you know, 3 to 5 weeks, depending on your speed. Let me just get the calculator on again, actually, so that we can see what I was talking about. The calculator, so we can do some basic math. So if you have a 50, let me add it to the stage. Okay, so calculator here, 50,000 words. You write 5,000 words per hour. That means you need 10 hours to write one book, right? 10 hours. And let's say you did 1 hour a day. That's 10 days, right? Now, let's say you have 50,000 words and my current speed is 250 words per 5 minutes, which works out. So 200, let me just clear all that. 250 words for 5 minutes times 12 to make it 1 hour. So I write about 3,000 words per hour, okay? And if I wanted to write 50,000 words, I would divide that by 3,000. That would take me 17, let's call it 20 hours. Let's round it up to 20 hours. If I wrote for 1 hour a day, it would take me about 20 days to get my first draft. And, you know, the point about that is basically you don't have to rush through things, but if you know you are going to write about one novel per month, then you would be so much more relaxed with whether the first draft was good. You know, if you don't like it, just redo the whole thing, or redo parts of it, or, you know, redo a second draft. You know what I mean? You totally, it's almost liberating in a way, because you know then that you're able to crank out one novel a month, you know? Well, obviously you've got to do the research, get the plotting done, all that kind of thing, you know, I get that. But all in all, you know, you should be able to do that. So yes, and then after that, we popped into the sprints, which was cool. Actually quite welcome, because my voice needed a little bit of a break. So that was it. And saying happy sprinting. Yep. And I was agreeing wholeheartedly with Jody. You know, you can get your first draft, get your edits, get your second draft, and it's all good. I was saying Anne managed to get me talking for over an hour, which was impressive. And suggesting I can go longer with the right motivation. I don't know. My voice needs a break, I think. But yeah, completely agree. Right motivation, absolutely can do just about anything. What you need is to be productive during the sprint you started. I got some words read, so I read some stuff. So Kat popped in. Hi, Kat's Novel Adventures. Feel free, everyone, to go and check out Kat's channel. She is totally awesome. She's getting her notes together to film for the September wrap-up, which is cool. Hi's from Kat from Emma to Kat, and Kat to Emma. Asking some questions about whether it's going to be live, and me asking if it's going to be a script or a bullet point kind of video. And Kat saying stats and bullet points, which is cool. Cat's also so behind on everything. I am so behind on everything. Oh my goodness, you have no idea. Cat's suggesting that I did catch up on my chapters in the Trollope novel I'm reading. Read for hours is nice. Read for hours this morning. It's cool. I am definitely quite behind on many things. You have no idea. Emma knows. I whinge to her sometimes. I vent. So, Kat also decided to on everything I want to read during November. Cool. And she's gonna have a probably about 10 books to read. And I was just saying, I can't. I'm lucky if I get 2 books read a month. That's the honest truth. I can't. I'm not a fast reader, and yeah, I've got other things going on. If I manage to read 2 books, that's I don't know. That's considered a good month. I will say actually, on the point of reading, when I first started, this fiction journey, and you go back to my earlier videos where I did some kind of like not book reviews, but my niche research, basically into the thriller niche. You can see I was essentially reading about 1 book every 3 weeks. Right now, I'm about 1 book every 2 weeks. So it's taken me, probably about 4 or 5 months, I think, or 3 months, maybe 3 months to get from 3 weeks to 2. Sorry, yeah, 3 weeks per book to 2 weeks per book. So that's where I'm at. Reading speed wise. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's good. So yeah, that's my reading speed. And the reason I bring that up is because if you do something and you practice it regularly, you do get better at it and faster. So yeah. Anne says I read 2 books this weekend. Oh my goodness. What? This weekend? That's crazy. Yeah. Compared to my 2 books a month. Kat says, I may have 10 books on the list, but that doesn't mean they'll all get read. It's more like a pile of possibilities, which is cool. I like possibilities and to be read, which is cool. Yeah, take some pressure off. There's no urgency. Just made myself a cup of praline pecan coffee. Nice, tasty. Anne says, by that logic, one could write a book in a day. No. I think a day is too aggressive. Coffee sounds yum. Okay, people. Now, before we hop off, I just want to remind everyone we're gonna close off in a couple of minutes. We're gonna go to SD's stream. So I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna share it in the chat, and I'm gonna log off literally like in a minute. So let's all hop on over and go say hi to SD and her stream. It's going to be totally awesome, part of the Storytellers half weekend, which we should all be supporting. Hey, I totally think you can do it, Anne. I totally think you can do it. I just think it's a bit too much pressure for me. I can't do it. Okay, cool. Let's call it a day there. And I shall hopefully see everyone on YouTube or Discord or wherever. And maybe I'll catch you guys on Wednesday stream 5 to 6. If not, I'll see you guys around on YouTube and Discord and that. Anne says my writing event next weekend, maybe overlapping the stream or something. Yeah, let's see if we can all do some stream hopping and support each other. Cool. Thank you everyone for popping by. Really appreciate it. Hopefully next weekend, maybe normal service resumes. Okay, take care everyone. I'm going to close it there. I shall catch everyone on YouTube and Discord. Have a great weekend, everyone.